In my hands, I have Roger Federer's tennis racket. What I actually mean is that I have Roger Federer's signed tennis racket. How cool his signature is, and as you can see, this is his own model of racket. Last year, I managed to pick up this racket at an awesome Laver Cup tennis event where Roger Federer attended, and I got to see him play and also hear a few questions about why this racket is so important to him, and also the future of what this racket means to tennis. As you can see, this racket is absolutely stunning. I did play with it for a very short period of time as I didn't have a backup racket. So this was quite special to play with, but right now it's sitting on a shelf at home for safekeeps. As you can see, this racket is the 300 gram model, 16 by 19 and the 01 edition. Let me take you through the different types of rackets as I play, and I'll give you my personal perspective of what I have found from these rackets the past few months when trialing and testing them. So, what are the three rackets? The first racket in my hands is the RF01 Future, and this racket is the lightest one of the bunch, weighing in at 280 grams. They're all 16 by 19 string pattern, and currently I have Wilson Fluxalon 4G and roughly strung around 23 kg in tension. I personally prefer a slightly tighter tension, as I find that these rackets are very powerful and they're great for flat ball strikers. So having this type of racket with a slightly tighter tension for me works perfectly. So what players would use the lighter racket? So I would say juniors that are transitioning from a lighter junior racket, maybe a 255 to 70 gram racket, and want a little bit more power, then a 280 gram racket would be a great fit. Also, if you're someone that's starting out as a beginner and you need a little bit extra pop on your shots, then this would be a great fit as well. I do find that this racket, for my personal game style, is a little bit too light, and therefore I'm not able to pocket the ball as cleanly, and therefore I need a little bit more weight. So incoming the next racket. The next racket in my hands is the RF01, and this racket is 300 grams in weight, and I would say this racket would be more for the general population. Being 300 grams is a nice median weight. 280 grams is slightly lighter, and 20 grams does make a difference, guys. There is another model up from here that I will speak about shortly, but I would say that personally, from my playing experience, I would say that I favor the 300 gram racket now, whereas some of the current pros using rackets from anything up to 330, 350 and even more. What I personally love about the rackets when trialing them out over the past few months is that it not only provides you with a great amount of spin and power, but I feel like I have developed my game even further in adding more variety in my shots. It may be the magic Roger Federer stick that adds a little bit more variety in my game, but what I do love is that it is an all-court game racket. So making sure that you're not just someone that's going to hit balls powerfully at the baseline, you're not someone that only serves in volleys, you're someone that has an all-court game style, whether it's you're wanting to slice and add a bit of variety when coming forwards to the net, maybe even throwing a few drop shots here or there, or you want to maybe take charge like Roger Federer, stand up on the baseline and take balls on the rise. As you know, Roger Federer has been a great player for holding the baseline. The term I like to use is hugging that baseline when stepping forwards and attacking. So 300 gram would probably suit someone like myself, or if I was playing back on the Futures Tour, I might add a little bit more weight. Some players add weights to the sides or to the top and even to the base of the racket as well, for just that added stability on their frames. Finally, there's one more racket, the RF01 Pro. This is Roger Federer's official racket that he uses, and this racket weighs in at 320 grams. So it's a little bit heavier than the other bunch of rackets, but I would say that this racket provides the most stability when striking through the ball and really plowing through your shots at maximal speed. The professionals would definitely be using something of this type of frame, and they would maybe spec it slightly differently to their liking, but I would say that this racket is definitely a high performance to pro level players racket, because not only you're dealing with the weight, but it's the endurance over periods of time. Let's say if you're playing for an hour and a half, 2 hours of a match, your wrists will get tired, honestly, when using a frame like this. I'm going to show you a little bit later of me striking with the racket and how I fare with it. But I do really like the feel of this racket, but I don't think I could play with it for that many hours now, unless if I was really tuning in my game like I used to when I was maybe playing a little bit at that Futures level. I would say that this racket provides me with very crisp volleys. I'd say out of the bunch of different rackets, the volleys, the slices and the drop shots feel absolutely incredible. But I would say that when I'm trying to grind from the baseline, I do find that I am a little bit less quick with the swing path of the racket. Maybe it's just because I haven't been playing with a 320 as often. These are all my thoughts of since playing with the different rackets. And I think that what's quite nice about this racket is that if you are a player that does enjoy a lot of power on your shots, slightly flatter ground strokes, and likes to shorten up points with a bit of variety, then this would be a great selection for you. So there we have it, guys, the 3 different models of rackets. Let me know in the comment section below which racket you would choose and why. Also, guys, I've noticed that quite a few of you have not subscribed yet. I can't wait to bring more tennis reviews of rackets and other various equipment to you guys soon, but make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with more future content to come.